Hey everybody, and welcome back to Just Paint It. So, new kit, new paint up. Alright, if you didn't see the preview already on this is an NY3D Creations exclusive. I will leave a link down below. This is for Raquel Welch's Loana from 1 million years BC. I know it's an old movie. Some of you younger guys won't probably relate very well to this or whatever, but even that, it's going to be a new paint up, skin tones. Alright, so a little practice for you guys. This one of the classics. Is from a Hammer series line. So Hammer movies were very famous for Christopher Lee as Dracula and things like that. And 1 million year BC was my era's, my growing up, Jurassic Park. Alright. So Raquel Welch at the time, she was super hottie. She played Loana in the movie, and with an awesome California tan and everything. So, but I think it's gonna be a really cool kit to paint. It's a classic pose, from the movie. I think kids growing up, in that era, probably had posters in their rooms of Raquel Welch, up in the thing and stuff. So, a little bit more before my time. This was more in the earlier mid '60s when this movie came out. But still, growing up, I remember watching it on TV and, dinosaurs and things like that. And, dinosaurs was always big in any childhood life. Some of these dinosaurs were stop motion and some of them were live action dinosaurs. And that's right, yeah, they were alive. Yeah. Like giant turtles and giant iguanas that they used for the movie, But yeah. But other than that, I think it's going to be a fun kit to paint. Hopefully it'll be pretty straightforward. This is a 1/6 scale, so I got the really larger size that Mike offers on his site. Now this is an exclusive to him. You can't, I know you see some out there of her that you can probably buy, the STL. You can't buy this one. This one is like the most accurate, best sculpted face and the pose and everything. Also comes with a nice base. Alright, some rocks. Okay, so it's pretty cool. I'm thinking about doing some effects on this, from like throw it in there like from the end of the movie or whatever, but we'll see. Beautiful kit. Alright, beautifully printed by Mike. Alright, and it's available on his site. And this is the larger one, like I said. It's a 1/6 scale. And this is pretty much what you get. You get the base and the two arms, the leg. I did have to put the head on because it needed to be, I needed to seal the gap, okay, on her. But other than that, everything else fits perfect without any seams. So I'm going to keep it separate and paint it and then put it together later on. Easier for me to paint. Okay, that's me. Now, as long as everything fits perfectly, you can do that. If it doesn't, then you have to glue it on and fix the seams and everything. But no seams that I saw as I dry fitted everything, and it looks fantastic. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there, and we're gonna start painting really quick. Okay, guys. So here we go. All right, so let's get started. Put some paint on this baby, and we start with the torso. Get that out of the way. I'm using the usual suspect to put a base down, which is Tan Flesh from Pro Acro. Beautiful paints. Alright. And very lightly, we're going to, as I usually say, layers. Right there. Alright? Thin layers. Alright? Just go all around the kit. bit more paint here. Hold on a second. Put this down there for a minute. A little thinner. I put a couple drops of flow improver, a little thinner. Consistency of milk, that is my formula. I talk about it all the time. You can go a little thinner than that if you wish. It all depends on how it comes out of your airbrush. Not all airbrushes are the same. Some people use thinner needles, some people use thicker needles. You know, everybody's different. It also depends on the airbrush that you're using. So it is hard for me to say this, put 2 drops of this and 3 drops of that. It doesn't work that way. My formula is consistency of milk every time, because I don't use just this airbrush. I got like 3 or 4 different airbrushes that I use all the time. Alright, this one I just happened to grab because it was hooked up already. Now I like to use my Sotar. And the reason why I'm doing this is because there is dried up paint along the side of walls, and I don't want that to go into the middle of the, so what I do is I just go in the middle with this, just mix it in a little bit. Alright, and don't stir up the stuff on the dry stuff on the wall, because it'll go in there, clog up your airbrush most likely. Alright, and then what I do is a little bit of backflow, do nice and easy. I always keep these around. Keep everything nice and clean, including my fingers. Just a little black flow. Good base for the skin tone, for all the work that you're going to be doing. Just make sure you got nice even coverage everywhere. So I'm going to let all this dry, and then I'm going to seal it, and then we'll be back and do more stuff. Alright, hi everybody, welcome back. And today's a new day. Yesterday I had after I sealed it, we had a little storm come in. I lost power, and I thought I lost all the video that I had recorded, everything, but thank God I didn't. Checked it. So today's a new day. We're going to continue, and we're going to start doing washes. Alright, so the first color that I'm going to put down is Phalanx Yellow. You know what? No, I'm going to switch yellows. I'm going to use a different yellow today. Let me use Moon Yellow by Game Air from Vallejo. The reason why the other one's a little cakey, and this one is a little bit thinner, and I kind of like the consistency of this yellow than the other one, to be honest with you. So let's try it. I mean, you know. A little more water than that. Alright, and all you're doing is just a wash all over the skin. I'm going to start off with the leg. Alright. And then we're going to sponge it off. Alright. Now you guys, if you watch my videos, you know this is the process that I always do. And we're going to do one leg at a time. Alright. So I want it to just dry and pull. Alright. But what I do is I sponge off. You dab, you know, you don't brush or wipe off. You dab it. Alright. A little schmeckle there. Alright. So, and you want to tint and freckle at the same time. Now you're not going to be able to tell with the yellow, but you probably will tell with the other two colors, and you'll see the process. Alright, and like I said before in my other videos, this is an accidental thing that I found, that I went through when I did this. See, I'm only dabbing off. I'm not wiping. I'm just, you know, dab and dab, dab. It was an accidental little accident. It was a happy little accident, let's say. But I don't know if it's the paint that I was using or the sealer, but it tints and it freckles at the same time, and it eliminates one of the processes, because I was doing it before, it was tinting and then freckling afterwards, and you know the process just took a little bit longer, but this saves me a little bit of time, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. If you watch my other videos, you already know, and this is the process that I do for everybody that's been, you know, that watched my videos before. If you're new, the sealer that I always use to protect any layers on, you know, like when I'm done with this, I'm going to seal it. I use Krylon UV resistant clear. Alright? It's a matte, the matte finish, okay? They do sell them in gloss and satin too, and I have those also, just in case if I ever need them for something else, you know, if I want a different finish. Okay, but that's the one that I usually use the most. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to come back and we're going to do another color. Alright, so I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so let's continue with the blue. Dragonhof Nightshade. Alright, same thing. Same process. Allergies are acting up a little bit. See how it beads? Okay. Focus. There you go. You want to keep those small ones in there, right? So, and you're going to tint at the same time, so. Freckling. Okay. See? Alright, so get the big stuff out. Sponge around. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to seal it, and we're going to go with the red. So I shall return. Alright, so let's continue with the red. Agron Red Clear by Citadel. Alright. You don't have to put a lot. Should be good right there. Okay. Can you see that? Right there. Okay. Get some water. See how much water I put in there. Mix it. You still got paint in your brush, don't forget. So mix it really good. Same thing, same application as before. Okay, sponge off. And you get the beading, okay? As long as you get that type of beading right there, you get large and small, you're good to go, all right? Okay. Okay. Splotchy and spotty and everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. Alright. Better. Okay. So you let it dry and then seal it. And be back in a few. Alright, so next I'm going to use Flesh Shade. Okay, everybody set it up. And I'm not going to do a wash. I'm only going to do freckling with the brown. Okay? So, and the dilution is not going to be as diluted. You're going to add water, but you're not going to add as much as you did over here for these. Okay? Because you're going to want that. You're going to want that brown to actually, stick and not run out, I think that's pretty good right there. And you want to keep just the little ones, okay? Alright, so the brush that I'm going to use, I'm going to show you right now. Let me just clean that brush. It's an angle brush, alright, and it's a little stiff. It's not that stiff, okay? But it's not as soft as, let's say, something like this. Because it's really soft, okay? This one is a little bit, just a little bit stiffer. It's smaller. I think that's the reason why. It's the same brand and everything, but the smaller one is a little stiffer, okay? So, I like the angle brushes because you can, okay? Alright, so, alright, you're going to dip your brush, okay? And you can practice, like right here. And you can, wait, oops. I'm trying to get something light so you can see it. Alright, seeing freckling, okay? Alright, just like that. Okay. So, what I do is, I try to do is one hand, and I don't soak it so much, but, okay? I just turn the kit around and just do that process right there. And if you get to, spots where you don't want it or too big or whatever, just grab a clean brush and pick it up with that, or a sponge. It's like they bunched up right here in this part right here, so I want to make it a little more natural, and just poke some of these out. Okay, same thing right here. There's a little too many in that one spot. All right, there you go. Got the browns. Come on, focus, baby. There you go. You got browns, all right, reds, blues, and then the yellow tint down underneath that. Alright, so that's it right there. So I'm going to seal this. And next time when I come back, I don't think it's going to be tonight. It's already getting late for me. Alright, so when next time I come back, we're going to start with the shading. Okay? And that's going to be with the pastels. Alright, and then immediately after that, then you start doing the layering with the airbrush. Okay, and all step by step, guys. Okay, so hang tight. Next time I come back, it's the shading. Hey everybody, and welcome back. So, start doing a little shading. with pan pastels. Pan pastels, great stuff, expensive. They usually run like a pack sale on Amazon. I think that's the best way to get them. They come like 7 in a kit. I got flesh tone ones. The red iron oxide I like to use for like shading skin tones and stuff. It works very nicely. Alright, if you see my videos before, you know what I'm doing. If you're new, this is red iron oxide. This is pan pastels. It's one of the best pastels in the market for doing this kind of stuff. And if you're going to use pastels, you're going to want to keep these pastel brushes that you use any brush, just keep them separate. Don't mix them with the other stuff. Alright. And let me get another. Usually what I use to blend is a filbert brush. And depending on the size of the kit, the size of the brush, things like that. Got a little one around here somewhere. Here you go. Alright. They get beat up. Eventually you're going to have to replace, and put new ones. Alright. So, these very pigmented. Alright. You're going to want to put it in the shadow areas. Okay. Just put some in the creases and the folds. And then you're going to blend in. Okay. The kit was sealed, so if you want to remove any accident, all you do is you can use a little bit of alcohol on them. Dog is going crazy. When you blow, if you're going to blow the excess, try not to spit. Now you get your filbert brush and you start blending it. Like I said, stuff might look a little bit strong right now. But everything's going to make sense once you start blending in. If it looks strong, don't worry about it, because a lot of the stuff can be hidden once you start adding layers down. And sometimes you might have to come back and hit it again, depending on how much work you put into trying to get those layers and stuff. Just a little bit of blood flow right there in the hand. That's it. All right. Okay. See, I'm accentuating the muscle folds and just trying to tone certain things, adding some shadows in certain areas, how it brings out the texture and stuff of the skin and how everything is moving. You know what I mean? The muscles and stuff. That's what you want to try to recreate a little bit. All right. So when we start putting the next layers down, you know, you're gonna blend a lot of this stuff in. All right. All right, next is the face and the body, the upper body. So let's start with around the dress and stuff. If you call it a dress. And it's just very simple. See here, you want to be careful because you don't want to overdo certain area. You want to, where the eye is usually going to be attracted to is going to be certain parts of the body, obviously. So you want to take extra care in those and just be careful how you accentuate those areas. All right. And there is muscle tone. Okay, like right here, just a little bit, accentuate that here, okay, and I darken our navel, and just like right below it, alright, just put a little color there, alright, same thing with our back. Okay, spread that crease a little wide when you go do that. Just a little bit right there, just right there. I think that's good right there. I don't want to overdo that. You guys can see this and appreciate a little bit how this thing is working. You know, with the pastels. I went a little strong on there, so I'm going to have to adjust that as I spray. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, if you want to play a little bit with the light effect and, you know, things like that, sometimes you might want to have one side shaded more than another if the light's hitting in a certain way. So those are things you might want to consider when you're applying shade and stuff like that with the pastels. How much you want to put in certain areas. You know, I'm just doing the regular from the top view and all that. Nothing from the side too much. Alright, so when I apply this stuff, I have to think that way, you know. Where's the light coming from on the kit? And see, once you start blending it in with the filbert brush, it doesn't look as strong. It's still strong, but not as bad as it was as you first apply it. All right, so, and once you start spraying, more and more it's going to start blending in together with everything else. So that's why I say don't worry too much about how strong it looks right now, or how the spots are all very visible and things like that, and the tinting that we did and all that, because all that stuff is going to start to magically blend together as we start adding layers to the kit. Alright, so next color I'm going to use is the magenta extra dark. I don't want to tip it over too much. Alright, it's very strong color. Okay. What I like to do with this color is add it underneath the eyes. Alright, right around here. Alright, so that's it right there. Okay. I'm gonna seal it, and then when I come back, we're gonna start adding some paint. Okay. Okay. So real quick, this is how the character and little stick figure. Okay. Now we're gonna start adding layers. All right. The first part, we're gonna add shade, a little bit more shade from directly below the character. Okay, so basically like this, directly below the character, right here. I'm gonna add some shading like this. Okay, so this is the first part. All right, then I'm gonna add another color directly in front of it. Directly straight ahead. Okay, so it's gonna be more like this. Okay, then I'm gonna come in a little bit higher. So this is the shade, this is a mid-tone. It's gonna be like either another mid-tone or the first highlight, if you want to call it. Okay, then there's gonna be another color depending where we're at, and then at the end there might be some more in between these. Alright, but the final one is going to be the final highlight, and which is going to be from the top. The final highlight is always going to be the top. For the shade, highlight, mid-tone, mid-tones, or highlights. You know, first highlight, second highlight, last ultimate highlight. Okay, or could be a mid-tones. Alright, all depends on where you're at as you go along with your figure. Alright, so I like to start from the bottom and work my way up. Okay, so that's how we're going to start off next. Alright, so I'm going to start with the shadows and work my way to the mid-tones, then the highlights, and then that's it. Okay, now these highlights here, or even the mid-tones, sometimes you can accentuate certain things with the pastels and things like that. You know, there's going to be a little, you might be going back and forth to get the right tone between your highlights and your mid-tones. Maybe you need to add more shadows because too much paint was put in, and you know, you hit all your shadows, so you might want to touch them up again, you know, as you go along. So think about those things, all right, as you work your way up. Now, this is my process. I always start from the bottom and always work my way up with the kit. Okay, and I'll show you that as we go along. Okay, so I'll be right back. All right, so we're gonna do the shadow. The color that I'm using is sorry, a little itch. Shadow Flesh Pro Acro. Okay, we're gonna hit it from the bottom. All right, so we're gonna start off with the legs. I'm sorry for hitting that. All right, very lightly like that. Okay, just directly from the bottom. brush down real quick and show you. So what you see from the top is that. Alright, that's the color that you see, but you flip it over and the color changes. Okay? You see that? Alright. That's what you want. See how I hit it from the bottom? And those are the areas that I was hitting for, okay? There's color there. Okay? And you can see the difference. The lighter tones stay on top. Now when you start adding the highlights, you're gonna be able to tell that even more. Alright, I think it needs a little bit more on the back of the legs a little bit. Just a little bit. So you got the top, bottom. See all the color underneath it? Okay, that's pretty cool, right? Okay, same thing. I don't have the. I got one hand, so forgive me for not being able to turn it the right way, but you can see it from here. Look at the way I turn the figure, and you can see all the highlights on the top. Well, the difference of color, you got to see you can see the shading on the bottom, right? And we didn't put any highlights yet, but the difference in color that you're already putting down. All right, so. Okay. Just trying to do it overboard. I'm trying to get a little bit more color underneath the chicken, but you can fix that with pastels. That's a big deal. Okay. Alright. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. Shouldn't take that long. And seal, and then I'll come back and we'll do another color. Alright, so next up is tan flesh pro acro. And this is going to be more of a direct overspray, just a light overspray. Alright, to start blending things together. Okay. I'm doing it very lightly. Ooh. Just doing overspray. Let it sit, let it dry. You can seal it, and then you can go back to it if you have to. Alright? Okay, look at that. That's pretty right there. Okay, and again, I'm bringing it a little closer so you can see still some of those little dots, little veins Okay, trying to pop their way through the skin. Alright. You still gotta work on it. Still some there. Some of them are a little more pronounced than others, but don't worry about it. Just don't get too excited to put too much paint on it. Alright. You'll get there. Right. You want subtle. Okay. I'm really liking where that is right now, so I'm going to leave her upper torso there. I think I need to hit the legs a little bit more. Red on accent is not as potent anymore. You got more nice blended shadows. Alright, you see that? Okay. The shadows are still there a little bit, alright. But you get more and more of a natural looking skin tone. Okay. Still got some of the blues and the reds and stuff coming through. The browns. You got like little veining effects and stuff going on. Alright. The back of the legs and stuff. See a little thin blue veins coming down around the side of the leg right there. Alright. That's what it looks like. Alright. Okay. Yes, yeah. But the skin, your skin is usually like kind of blotchy and stuff, so especially when it gets under the sun. Alright. So let me seal this stuff, and then when I come back, we're gonna hit with a different color. We're gonna go. So we started here. We're here, going direct. Okay. Now we're gonna start. Might put another color in between the highlight and the midtone. Probably another midtone, and it's gonna be maybe somewhere between here, because I want to try to keep the tan in the shadows too. So but I also want to put like a little more red into the skin tone. So let me think about what I'm gonna do here, and then when I come back, I'll have that. I'll see how the sealer is gonna blend everything together. You know what I'm saying? And see it with a better light and everything, where the kid is at, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, it's one step at a time, fellas. I'll be back. Hi everybody, and welcome back again. So I was taking a look at the kit. So I sealed it yesterday before I went to bed. Alright. And one of the things I want to do before I continue, she's looking really good. I mean, I'm really happy the way it's going. So I want to add a little more shadow with the pastels, but very little. Alright, and the reason why is I see myself putting a couple more layers down, and I'm going to be hiding a lot of the finer shadows, like in her face and things. So what I want to do is just add a little bit to it. Okay, and just so I can enhance a little bit of these shadows in there. Not go too crazy with it. You know, blend them in a little bit, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to start with the highlights. And I want to do the first highlight. And we're going to go in from more from like a 45-degree angle from the top. Okay. Not so high up, but more on an angle. And the color that I'm using for that is going to be the olive flesh. Okay. I diluted it a little bit more than what I usually do, because I don't want to go too heavy on it. Alright, and we're going to go very lightly, like that right there. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the legs. Okay. And there's going to be like right there. Okay. From this side right here. Make sure I got a good spray. And I'm just going to do very lightly. That's about it right there. Okay, just turn it a little bit. Okay. Let me get my hand out of the way here. Grab from the bottom here. So it's a little awkward, but hit that knee a little bit of the chin. I'm hitting the top of the legs, okay? Very lightly. Just to get a little highlight in there. And then we're going to go with the ultimate highlight after this. Okay? Back to the legs. Just a little bit. Same thing on that one. And just to hit the... I'm hitting like this area just a little bit right there. Okay. So, areas right there. Let me see. It's pretty good. Hit it wherever you think the light is going to occur, or wherever you need to lighten up the skin if you have to. But don't overdo it. All right, I think that's good right there. So I'm going to grab the main body. Okay, same thing. Like a little bit on the forehead. Nose area, chin, oops, don't want to splatter, guys. Okay. Top of the cheekbone. Just got a little splatter there. Scoozy. Okay. Top of the breast, just a little bit. Okay. Like the neck area, the belly. I'm hitting it from up here, guys. See my hand right now, I'm creeping it. My hand was getting most of the paint, I was just creeping it in to try to get that part right there. Alright, the hip, the back. The bottom part of the back right there. Oops. The hip area again. Just lighten it up just a hair. I don't want to go too much overboard. Alright. I am still going to come back and hit her with a little bit of at the end. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So stay tuned for that. Alright. There we go. That's it right there. Just a little bit on the side over here. There you go. Alright. That's it right there. Just a little bit. Give it a minute. Take a look. Take a pause. Alright. That looks good. Alright, let's leave it like that for now. So, same thing with this, is the arms are going to be like that, so take that in mind right here, like this. See, I'm following this to stand straight up the edge, because that's where it's going to go up against her, okay, like this. Even though the kit is apart, you got to take those things in consideration. Alright. Enhancing some of those tones. Very light spritzing. Awesome, look at that. That looks pretty. Alright. Very nice details and stuff. Beautiful. Alright. Very happy with that. I'm going to put a little more color there. Alright. Don't want to overdo it. Very good. Alright. That's it, guys. Alright, so let's let that dry. Clean the airbrush. Seal it. Alright, come back and we'll do another color. Alright, guys. The last highlight. It doesn't need a lot because I think we're there. We're just there. You know what I mean? Excuse me, but you need to just add just a little bit. That's it. Okay, and the color I'm using is from Nocturna series, the highlight skin. Okay, I'm going to use that one. It's a little bit lighter than the olive flesh. Okay, and this is from the very top. Alright, you're going to go right from the top. Okay, and like I'm spinning the model, I'm shooting it straight from the top, and very lightly like before. That's too much. Like right there, okay? Make sure I'm not spitting out. Very lightly. Just want to check in, make sure what kind of flow I got. on the top of the leg, very gently on the shin, on the other side. Just a weird angle. The knee. Okay, and I'm going to go for the top of the leg, alright? That's it right there. And I'm going to warm all this up in a bit after I'm done with this color. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. Alright. So maybe the sides a little bit needs just a little hint. Back of the cap also. Alright, that's it. I don't want to do no more. Okay, just it. A little bit of highlight. That's the last highlight. Same thing, see how I'm holding her? Alright. Shooting for the nose and the top of the forehead a little bit. Top of the cheekbone. Top of the chin. Let some of that fall on her breast. With these little splatters in there. Top of her breast, on her belly a little bit, on her hip, that side of the hip, just a little bit. There we go. Very little, just spritzing. Okay, that's it. Let's see what it looks like. All right, good. That might look a little high and shiny, but I want to fix that. Alright, so clean your brush, seal it, and then we'll come back. Alright, so we're back. So what I have is a little trick that I use, that, not a trick, I mean, you know, I seen somebody, I think it was Matt Morozic on his channel one time, used it for bringing back the tan color on a kit after he did everything like, kind of like what I did. And he needed to bring that tan color back on a skin tone, so he brought out his garagekits US stuff. These are, unfortunately, these are not made anymore. Or Jesse from garagekits, he's looking to either bringing it back later on or something. He's having distribution problems with the maker of this product, so he's looking for somebody else to produce these for him. You know, but you know, Jesse's a good guy. You know, he's brought a lot of great products out to the market for people like us. And these are like really, really good paints. And the one that I never tried was the golden toner, though. Okay, and I just put a little bit here. It's very translucent, and I usually use the transparent natural flesh for bringing back that tan color, but I got this gold toner, and I was looking to trying to give it a try. So I sealed her already, and I would like to try it because I never tried it before. I had it for a while now, and I would like to give it a shot and see what this does. If it does the same effect that I'm looking for, as far as the transparent flesh does. So like I said, you know, I seen Matt Morozic do it on his channel one time, and it worked, and I used it a few times myself. I think I used it in the last couple of videos, and it does a really nice job blending the colors in and bringing that. If it's too high on the highlights, it'll bring it back down, and it'll give it back that beautiful, you know, tan. So let's give it a shot. So let me see how this comes out. So let me show you real quick here. It's like a tint, all right? So Look good. Let's see what this is going to look like here. Sprayed. It's very diluted already. Alright. And what I usually use is alcohol and water to dilute these. I'm doing it on my skin real quick. I want to see what this thing looks like. Let's give it a shot, guys. I'm going to put a little bit more here because I want to need a little more than that. Alright, I had to shake it on my machine because it's been, I guess because it's been sitting for a while. Alright. So the overspray is going to be done just regular, okay? And just spray a little bit and don't go. Just do one layer and see what it does. You know what I mean? I'm doing it from far away. I'm not doing it from closer. Look at that. It is like a gold. Well, they bring out that California tan back out, right? Just a little bit. I'm just doing one layer. Very lightly. I'm spraying over this thing. Alright. That's it. Okay, look at that. Holy cow. Now, if you can't get a color like this, is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you can't get something like this, look at the color. Just get any acrylic and dilute the crap out of it. Like you can use like a reddish flesh. That's not the right color. Shadow flesh. That's a little bit closer. Maybe put a little bit more. It kind of looks like a rusty color, kind of a little bit. But you want it translucent, so you want it very, very thin. Right? I don't have to thin this stuff. I mean, if I want to thin it, I could put a little bit of water and alcohol. I got a pre-mixed bottle here. Okay. GK thinner. All right. Garagekit paint. I made it just for that. All right. Just water and a little bit of alcohol. That's all it is. All right. Let's practice over here in this area. Just a little bit. Rest. Wow. I'm creeping into the forehead a little bit. Sides of the cheeks. This side a little bit. Get the neck a little bit. The forehead again. A little bit on the nose. I'm trying to keep that highlight on the nose. I like that. color. That color is freaking amazing. For tan, this is it, golden toner. What? Need to work on their forehead a little bit, that part right there. She's looking freaking pretty, man. Look at that. What do you guys think? Sorry. Alright, guess what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna seal this, and I gotta get up early, but I want to seal it before I go to bed. We'll come back tomorrow and I'll see where this is at, if I need to add anything else or a little more. And if we're good, we'll move into the hair, eyes, lips, eyebrows, that kind of stuff. We'll finish off the face. Alright, but I'm really happy right now where this is at. And once you, like I said, like I always say when you watch my videos, once you put the hair, paint the hair, do the eyes and maybe the lips, and then the rest of the outfit and everything, it'll bring just everything together. Okay. I'm really digging this. I'm really digging this color, man. That tone. Alright, fellas. Next part, that's what we're going to be doing next part, okay? If everything's good, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to paint everything else. But I just wanted to let it set for the rest of the night, okay? And just see it tomorrow, how it's blended all in, once I seal it, and then we'll take it from there, okay? Have a great night. Alright, welcome back. So like I said yesterday, I'm gonna start doing the hair. Alright. I got a little bit of a golden dark brown from Pro Acro. Alright, so I'm gonna just add a little bit of water here. Just put a few drops in there. Just to get started. I want to see how this applies. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna seal it. This is why I have to put my hands on it, but to move stuff around, I'm not gonna be touching the paint, no, messing it up. All right, but I wasn't sure how this color was gonna be good for undertoning. Well, we'll see where it goes. You know, we can light it up and all that, but you know, I want to try to get that nice blonde color in there. I need a decent undertoning for it, so I wanted to try this paint to give it a shot. Alright, so just sitting here thinking which color to use, and I'm just gonna go with it. If not, you know, we can always paint over it if it doesn't come out right. Don't be afraid to do that. Try different things. Just dampening this brush. Start with this one, the dry brush. You know what? I'm gonna try the big one first. This is just makeup brushes that I have around, laying around. Just dampen a little bit. And the color that I'm using is from Nocturna Skintone, which is natural flesh. All this I'm trying to do is just lighten up the color now. Okay. Do a little dry brushing. Let's see how it comes out. I'm gonna let this dry. I think I'm gonna seal it. I'm gonna try something else. Let's see if we can lighten that up a little bit. I keep on giving it some tone, some different color, and try to mix some stuff in there and try to lighten up it up. Alright, but I think it's getting there. Alright, I'm gonna see what other color I want to use. So bear with me, let it dry a little bit and I'll seal it and I'll come back. Alright, so I want to bring a little yellow back to the hair. Blonde is such a hard color to paint, guys. And I picked this color out. It's got a little yellow tint to it. It's light skin tone by Scale Color. Alright. Now I'm going up against the skin tone that I have on the kit. Now these colors are going to look totally different against the color, the skin tone that's on the kit right now. I gotta mix that a little better. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna mix it on my little machine. All right, like I was saying, the skin tone and this is gonna be a little bit different. So here's a lighter color. It's got a little yellow tint to it. Blonde hair is very hard to do, you know, especially depending on what blonde, you know, what hint of blonde are you trying to get. I just always have a very hard time with it, so. Especially this one I'm trying to replicate, you know, so. But I'm looking at a sepia wash. So let me let this dry and I'll come back and maybe we'll do the wash when I come back, okay? Okay, had a little video problem there for a minute. That's okay. Alright. So the two colors that I took out was a couple, two inks from Vallejo. I got a sepia, which is very dark. Not too crazy about that. And then I got the ink skin wash. It's more of a brown, and I think I'm leaning towards that one a little bit. So I'm going to apply a very little bit on the back and see how this goes. And if not, I'll switch over to the other one or whatever. You know, we'll see what happens here. So I'm trying both over here. See what that. Might be better. Here, let me see what I can do here. So I'm going to apply it. I got to work with this brush. I don't know what this is going to come out looking like, but, you know. I'm definitely going to need to highlight a little bit. Alright, so what I'm doing just now is just putting color down, spreading it out. Trying to get a nice even spread before it bites too much. I didn't like the real dark one. So I kind of like the color, but it's not her color. You know what I mean? So I definitely gonna need to. But I do like the. Excuse me. I do like the undertone. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to, let's do some highlights. Alright. Alright, hopefully we'll be able to get to where I want to go with this. Alright. Alright, so I just tested a little bit of this ink. It's a flesh tint. It's very diluted, very thin. Right. try this like in the back over here, so, and the front a little bit. So the thing with this, you're gonna have to like really get rid of a lot of it. Right. And just do a little bit at a time. Gently, just doing it with the grain. Let me seal it, and when I come back, we'll look at it and see where we're at, okay? So there she is. As of right now, I'm happy with that, alright? I like that a lot. Alright. So I'm gonna stick with that for now, okay? If I need to put a little more highlight after do everything else, then we can do that. But I like where that went, okay? And like I said, blonde is a tough color to do, but you know. Alright, fellas, so we'll continue again tomorrow with the rest of it. I'm a little tired now. Alright, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to do the eyes now. Get these out of the way. Just from yesterday. Get the new brushes here. The color that I'm going to lay down first is a black brown. Might do the eyebrows too. Switch over to optimizers. Well, I got these new super light optimizers. They're a little bit lighter than these old ones. These old ones are very heavy, very front heavy. All right. The battery pack is like right here. This one takes those little batteries. Okay, for light. And they're very light on the head. It doesn't get your head so tired. Alright, so recommendation by Gilbert. So I try them out. So far I like them. Try the eyebrows, and the thing with the eyebrows, they're very small. All right, but I want to give it a little bit of a thicker cut, like on this end right here on the inside of the eyes. All right, see like what you see in the picture. Okay, so let's give it a try. A little bit of water. I'm going very thin on this. I'm already liking that. Look at the skin tone and everything's starting to come together now. Alright, remember what I said. Everything's going to start coming together. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm going to seal this and I'll return. Okay, white sands from Scale Color for the eyes. The white of the eyes. What do you guys think? It's looking good. Alright. Seal that. Alright, so now we're going to do the eyes. And I'm using Evolution X's decals. Alright. Microsol. And water. Alright. So, I have a video up on this stuff already. Frank from Evolution X has his own video on his own site, which, if I remember, I'll link everything down below. Okay, and you guys can go and check out and see the process. Most likely, I'm just going to do one eye. They're looking up and towards this side over here, okay? Alright. So I'm going to start off with one eye. Start with this one. What I like to do is wet the eye that I'm going to be working on. Alright. Just wet it really good. Okay. And this decal should be ready. Usually what I put is you know, there's a couple ways, different ways that I do it. But I like to put and just kind of brush it on. Try to grab it with your brush. Try not to fold it. Just grab a little water, more water if you want. Just so it's nice and wet. Just get it in there like that. Get this thing out of the way. Get the stick out, it's just always in the way. The flat part goes up. Ooh, I like that look. Yeah, she looks really pretty there. Once you think you got it set in the area that you want it, and start applying the microsol. And what it does, the microsol will conform everything to curvatures and everything. It'll some of this water out of here. And drop the microsol in there. You still got a little bit of time to move it around if you have to. Alright. Like that. Okay, so while that one sets, I'm gonna go and get the other one ready. Okay, I'll be right back. It just looks beautiful right there, man. Look at this. Man, it's just gonna look fantastic. All right, and look at the color in the skin. How's everything is popping out now? All right, just look at that. A couple touch-ups in here that I noticed I need to do, and I might want to do a little bit of more highlights on certain spots in the hair, which is no big deal. Alright, but other than that, we paint the garment. Yeah, and we got this is gorgeous. I still want to let that set for a little while. So I'm going to leave this here. Okay, I'm going to leave this video here for now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Way of the Dragon. So to get that kit ready for tomorrow. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, so I still have to clean it, you know, then prime it and everything else, and I want to have it ready to go for tomorrow. So she's going to be on pause for a day or two, but when we come back, we'll work on the clothes, okay, on her rags or whatever, you know, like raccoon garment. All right, Evolution X, right? Decals. All right, don't forget. All right, guys, see you in a bit. All right, welcome back. What I'm gonna try to get done today is the clothing, if you call that clothing. So, I'm gonna do some stippling, but I need to put a base layer down. Alright, and very simple. I'm just gonna put the color down, just brush it in. I'm using a black brown. Pro Acro. Alright. And where's my water? Here it is. Just put a little bit of water in there. We get a little bit of a broader brush to do that. you guys are wondering why I have all this paint out, is because I worked on the Way of the Dragon last night, and let me show you what I did, where I'm at with this kit. This is by Hinhilger's. Kit's name Smiles. Alright, it's the Joker and Batgirl. Alright, and I'm trying to replicate something, a picture from it. Alright, there's a reason why everything is like the way it is right now. Alright, but this is where I'm at with that kit. That's why all these paints are out. Alright, a little bit of OSL and stuff like that. So. Oh, I gotta get something. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I'm just gonna apply some of this black brown. Alright, so this is going to need to be sealed. So, there you go. Alright. It's all over. And when I come back, we're going to start stippling. There we go. Alright, so the way I want to do this is I want to work my way from dark to light. So, you see the on the picture right there. It's the closest. I think it's just there's a different pictures and the quality of the pictures and the film. You know, you gotta take those things into consideration. So these are gouaches from these are Artist Soft, cheap ones. I'm gonna start off with these. And you're gonna stipple. I got all these old beat up brushes. I cut them so I can use them for stippling. Okay. This is to give you a textured effect. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with this color, which is a what color is this? Here, read it. Burnt umber. The other one is yellow ochre. Okay. So basically, what I get, do not dilute it. It's gonna go on raw. All right. Basically, get the paint. Not a lot. And just start stippling over. Like I said, I'm going to work my way up from dark to light. Okay. So that's the kind of the effect that you want to try to get here. Let's go. Alright. You see how sloppy it is right now? It's okay. Just keep on putting paint down. They'll blend in together at the end. It'll look nice and alright, so the next color I picked is Desert Yellow by Vallejo. It's just regular acrylic now, okay? I don't have anything later in the other stuff. So let's try using that. Alright, see how beat up your brushes are going to get? Alright, they're going to get all flat, and that's okay. Just cover more of a broader range now. Alright. Alright, so let's continue. The next color is Iraqi. Wait. Should I use this color? Or should I go later? Let's use it. Iraqi sand. Alright. A nice light tone color. I was going to go with this one, but I think I'm going to use that one for the last color. See how it's getting lighter as we go down, alright? So same thing. Gonna beat the crap out of it. Alright. Alright, let's start in the back over here and see what it looks like. Lighten up those edges a little bit. Alright, so I got the lighter color. I'm going to use that bone white from Vallejo, game color. Alright. It's a little bit thinner than the other one, so I have to try and get rid. I haven't cleaned this brush, so just so you know. It's all the same gritty, crummy stuff on top. if I'm going to do anything else, guys, I think I'm going to have to seal it because I don't want this paint to start popping up as I'm doing this, as it's drying and, you know, it's not fully cured in there. So you don't want to start popping paint up. You want to be putting paint down. And I think I'm going to stop right here and see where this is at. And if I need to do more with something, I'll do more with some things. But I think this is it right here as far as this color blending. And I'm really happy the way it looks. Okay, you get your shadows, your highlights a little bit, alright? And texture. All across the kit. Okay, it's got a nice tone. If I need to go lighter after I seal it, I'll take a look at that. Alright, but repeat the process with everything else, okay? Alright guys, I think this is going to be it for the video. I took the putty out and I just touched up a couple of edges that need to be touched up. There she is. Full figure. Alright, the boots. She's got to get glued on and all that. And arms. The base I'm going to do pretty simple. Is I'm going to I still got to seal it. Prime it, and then I'm just gonna dry brush, you know, like desert color, and then give it this a little rock color or something, maybe the gray tones or something, and dry brush it in. Real simple stuff, nothing crazy. All right, but there she is right there, guys. I think she came out beautiful. Look at the skin tone now with everything in it. All right. Now with everything on it, she looks just fabulous, I think. I think she came out beautiful. Alright. This is it right here. I want to say thank you to Mike from NY3D Creations. That's where this is from, guys. The kit is from NY3D Creation exclusive. It was sculpted by V3D. Alright. And I will leave a link down below for both of them, but he has sculpted this exclusively for NY3D Creations. So the only place available is ny3dcreations.com to get this kit. If you're interested, I think it's a beautiful kit. And that's it. I just want to say thanks to both of them, and thanks to Frank from Revolution X for the decals for the eyes. All right, thank you, Frank, for that. I think the eyes came out fantastic. All right, and that's it, guys. All right, so I'll see you next time. As far as the stay tuned for the giveaway announcement, because we're getting close to 500, and if you subscribe to the channel, it'll get us closer there, and I'll be able to do a nice giveaway for that. Alright, but until then, I will be putting an update on that soon, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, thank you. Peace.